Hello there, this is Business Nigeria, where we bring you latest happenings in the world of business across the nation. I am Tolulokpe Ogunjobi. Welcome. Thank you for staying tuned. Now to the latest news now in town, in the world of business, particularly the Nigerian Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers, NUPENG, and that's petroleum tanker drivers under them, have started an indefinite strike over a number of issues. One of those is what they describe as the poor working conditions of petroleum tanker drivers. NUPENG is also unhappy with the state of refineries across the country, as well as the politics involved in the passage of the Petroleum Industrial Bill, also the welfare of the workers, insecurity and bad roads across the country. Well, earlier I spoke to executives of the Petroleum Tanker Drivers Association Lagos Zone, and this is what they have to say.
We met our owners demanding for increment in their salary, and they are not ready to renegotiate with us. And we don't know who to try to or to fall back to. That's why we went on strike. They are fully compliant. They are fully compliant. Our strike is was intentionally based on that. We want the owners and the government to negotiate so that increment can come to on our salary. Nothing again. We are not ready to even punish any other body, but there's no way we can do it than the way we are doing it now. We hope that things will be normalized as soon as possible. Our leaders are ready for meeting with any organs. The NATO, the government, if they are ready, we are ready. But we are not ready to punish any individual or public as you may think.
Yes, this strike we embark upon, as our name implies, we are the Petroleum Tanker Drivers branch of NUPENG. Our job, we are employed by NATO, that is Nigeria Union of Transport Owners, and we have been agitating for for the increase in our salaries and other remunerations, but unfortunately, they were unable to meet our demands, despite repeated warnings to them that we may down tools. But they also, their own complaints or their own bone of contention was that their spare parts are so costly now, and they've been meeting the government to do something about it. At the same time, their freight are not increased. So from which source will they get this money to increase for us? And they said they've given the government so many warnings over 3 times, and they did not heed their request. So we now have no option than to draw the attention of the NATO themselves and the government for them to resolve for us to do our job, because our families are also suffering. We are not in support of it continuing, because we know the effect on the masses.
I have joining me now via phone the zonal chairman of the National Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers, Tokunbo Korodo, and also subsequently the public relations officer of the Petroleum Tanker Drivers, Lagos Zone, Comrade Tayo Aboyiji, will also be joining us via phone to give insight into the contending issues that has led to this strike. Alhaji Korodo, a lot has been said, and the tanker drivers are maintaining their positions, while NATO is also maintaining a different position. Now, where do we go from here?
Yeah, thank you very much. You know, the tanker drivers sought the endorsement of this trial from NUPENG leadership. And we met on Friday at the CWC meeting, where the issues were explained, and the CWC in session gave approval to the strike to commence today. And with the reports from all the field, there is total compliance as a result of this strike action.
Talking about total compliance, the negative effect of this strike cannot be overemphasized with what Nigerians will face shortly when we start seeing the effect of this strike. Are you not considering this? Are there meetings going on the ground to see that we get a resolution in good time?
Well, it is a very, very sympathetic situation we find ourselves. It is, NUPENG and PTD, we are pro-masses, but we are talking about the welfare of our members, and we don't need to run away from it. When it comes to the issue of the masses, we are always there. So this is the issue that affects us directly. We now seek for cooperation and understanding of Nigerians. It is not our making. Had it been our government are more proactive, and even the step they are taking right now, I think they have taken it earlier. We won't be talking about going on strike. But it seems the government officials, they think that if things like this doesn't happen, they will not see them as if they are working. They derive pleasure in stressing Nigerians and some agitators to this level. So before they can come to the reality, it's uncalled for. And we think it's the right time for the government officials to change their orientation so that when issues raised, especially from the very economic sector like ours, they should be more proactive and try to resolve it than to pay politics to it.
Now the issue of the increase in the freight rates is left to the Nigerian government, I guess, the NNPC and the federal government to actually resolve with the truck owners. If that doesn't come, there might not be any increment also for the petroleum tanker drivers. That is why I'm so worried that is there any meeting or any way that we intend to get to the end of this?
See, we are not happy that there is strike, but it is an inevitable thing we cannot run away from, because we gain nothing in going on strike. Tanker drivers, they with the meager salary they are taking, the little thing they need to cushion the effect is the trip allowances. If tire doesn't roll, they don't get additional pay. So the more trips they make in a month or in a day, the more allowances that will be added to their salary. So going on strike, there's no trip allowance they will claim. So we are not gaining anything, but only that we need the same market we all patronize. We know the inflation rate in the country, and our wives and children, we need to also take good care of them. You can't believe it, that we are even taking salary below the minimum wage. So, and that one is a serious thing that we are calling for government to completely come into our aid and should also understand the problem we are facing.
Indeed. Now, finally, I know there are other issues raised by the unions. Insecurity is one of it. The issue of bad roads, though you've been talking about all of this. What else? What progress have you made with regards to insecurity and the bad roads?
We quite appreciate the effort of federal government on their huge investment to rehabilitate the federal roads. But we also not to run away. We still have some pockets of roads within the routes tanker driver apply, and this one has reduced drastically the level and the movement rate of tanker on the highway, because these so-called criminals, the hijackers, they hide within that area to lay ambush for tankers. Before they know it, they will take away the truck from them with the product. Even on motion, they will drop the driver on the road, and eventually we may lose the driver. And at the end of the day, before you now see the truck, it will be an empty truck. The owner will also be thinking that maybe the driver connived with the hijackers. And at the end of the day, we still end up in detaining and unnecessarily incarcerated the driver. So these are the kind of hazard job and the difficult things the tanker driver is facing. But we all need to be on that, and we also use the media that even we stop night driving for tanker drivers, because we believe that we need to even reduce the accident that involve tanker, if not total eradication. Because if tanker gets involved in accidents, we know the aftermath. So we are trying to prevent and be more proactive. So no tanker driver is allowed to move in the night. So even they are even moving in the daytime because of fatigue. Government need to, well, as they are doing the rehabilitation of the road, they should also find a resting place for them whereby they can park so that they will not be molested by anybody.
Indeed,
now, additional issue we also have with the activities of this security, the Nigerian security force, especially Nigeria Civil Defense. Is getting out of hand, and it's at alarming rates that Nigerians should need to know about this. Because a situation whereby they will be harassing trying to extort money from tanker drivers that are also forcing them to part away with some content of the product that does not belong to the driver, but with the owner. They will force them under gunpoint that this issue, the compartment will be loosened, and at the end of the day, the product will be taken away with a claim that they want to do tests. And whereas the test is not done, and the driver will be detained with the truck for more than days, weeks. If not the intervention and the powerful strength of the union that will normally get them out of the hook. And for how long are we going to continue in the countries for somebody doing a legitimate job, and Nigeria Civil Defense will be subjecting and harassing and molesting the innocent tanker driver for that doing the legitimate job?
Indeed. So most likely, if this issues continue this way, is this strike going to continue until you get a resolution, or maybe the government actually accedes to your demands?
We are open to dialogue, and that is why when they call us for a meeting, everybody is on its way to Abuja right now for quick intervention. And the big government have taken these approaches when we were agitating. There was a time we asked tanker drivers to be carrying leaves as a mark of protest. Nobody cared. We've written series of letters. We had meetings for them to look into this issue before the thing snowballed into a bigger one. But now, nobody's ready. But now that they want government, they want maybe the presidency to know they are working. That is why they allow it to get to this stage, so that they can see them arranging meeting at the 0 hour. And they think we are full. We are not.
Tokunbo Korodo there is the chairman of Lagos Zone of the Nigerian Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers, NUPENG, giving his views on the ongoing strike. We'll go on a break now, and we'll be back with more on Business Nigeria. Stay with us. Thank you for staying tuned. Of course, we are still discussing issues surrounding the strike by the Nigerian Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers, Petroleum Tanker Drivers Unit of NUPENG, with issues relating to welfare, poor remuneration, and also other issues. I have now the Zonal Public Relations Officer of the Petroleum Tanker Drivers Lagos Zone. That's Comrade Tayo Aboyeji, who would also be speaking on this issue. Thank you for joining us, Comrade Tayo.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Yes, I know you have been at the Apapa area where we have the major loading, the tank farms today, because I've also been there. What's your level of assessment when it comes to compliance of your members to this directive?
I can confirm to you that there is 100% compliance. Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly. Go on.
I said I can confirm to you that there is 100% compliance. Our drivers are not working just as we directed. And until we sorted out the issues, the strike will continue.
Comrade, you know, I know we've been discussing some of these issues, but you are particularly and directly affected as the petroleum tanker drivers. Now, give us more and more insight into some of these issues.
There are about issues involved right now. The issue of our driver remuneration, the salaries are too meager, considering the situation of the economy in Nigeria. And we approach our employees, that is NATO, that we want a review of our driver salary. But on their own, they claim that the government has not increased the freight for them to justify or to effect the increment in salary of our workers. So we asked them to dialogue with the government, and we have been on this issue for the past 1 year. and nobody has come to us to tell us anything. And we cannot continue this way. That's why we said, I think for them to listen to us, or for the NATO and the government to sit and talk to effect the increment in salary. That's why we stopped work. That is first thing. The second thing is insecurity. Insecurity in the sense that most of our trucks on daily basis are being hijacked across the country. The drivers are being killed, while the petroleum products, the tanker will be stolen. The other issue is the state of our roads in Nigeria. We called on government several times to help us repair the repair of the road. But also, as we are talking to you now, nothing has been done. Those are the three major issues for now.
Comrade, just like you talked about the economic issues now, talking about how to manage with, you said the salaries are too meager, that they can't manage it for this time. Everybody knows that there's a downturn in the economy following the drop in the price of crude oil. And we're just trying to get out. Recession is still hitting the economy. Inflation is on the high side. Issues with Forex all around. We have lots of economical issues. We think the drivers can't they just bear with us till we get out of this? Or maybe, you know, be a little fair with your employees too, or your employers, I beg your pardon.
It's exactly what you said, is the recession and the economic situation that make our drivers to wash off. The mega salary they are giving them is not even anything to write home about. And even before the recession, we have been engaging the government and our employers to please help us receive this salary. So it's not the issue of now. It has been the issue that has been for the past 3 years now. So for them to even help more, or to help our drivers, and to get us do this job effectively, this has to be increased. Drivers travel from less than best of Nigeria, and I can't just tell you how much you are collecting monthly. It's too poor to mention.
Okay. Finally now, just a word now. So are we going to continue with this process until the government accedes to your demand?
I know we have a responsible government. And I believe that just like maybe you might have heard that there is a meeting by 3 o'clock called by NMPC Group Managing Director. I believe the intervention of the government will solve the problem. And immediately we are able to get a green light from them. Yes, the sign will be called off.
Because you know the hardship Nigerians will face. I'm more concerned, and Nigerians are concerned about what they will go through, because very soon we'll start seeing long queues all around, and even some filling stations will not even have products at all.
No, the effect of the strike will not be noticed until after maybe 48 hours, and we are not expecting the strike to be as long as that. So I will advise the general public to go to panic buying.
Okay then, Zonal Public Relations Officer of Petroleum Tanker Drivers, Lagos Zone, Tayo Aboyeji, giving his views also on the strike, on the ongoing strike. Thank you for your time on Business Nigeria, and also thank you to Alhaji Tokunbo Korodo too from Nupeng, who bared his mind on the development. Well, let's see how it all plays out. Moving to other stories now. The dollar edged up in the European trading on Monday as investors shrugged off a lack of motives to buy it last week, waiting for more clarity on the strength of the U.S. economy and pace of future interest hikes. The dollar index, which measures the greenback against the basket of major currencies, ticked 0.2% higher in the morning European trade. Economists polled by Reuters predict the U.S. economy will have added 180,000 jobs in March. A spate of mixed U.S. economic data on Fridays reinforced the United States Federal Reserve's view that the economy is growing at a steady but not rapid pace. Speculators reduced bullish bets on the United States dollar for the first time in 4 weeks in the week ended March the 28th. According to the Commodities Future Trading Commission data released on Friday. The Central Bank of Nigeria has again stressed its determination to sustain the supply of dollars to the forex market to enhance liquidity. Good news indeed. The Apex Bank's acting director of corporate communications, Isaac Okorafor, in a statement during the weekend, said the banks want to disabuse the notion by market speculators that it wouldn't be able to sustain its intervention. Okorafor said the bank would again early this week inject more foreign exchange into the market. The Apex Bank warned commercial banks and other dealers to desist from sabotaging our efforts aimed at making the economy to rebound. Nigerian households may begin to buy cheap seafoods and fishery products as Norway prepares more stockfish, salmon and mackerel for local markets. Norwegian Deputy Minister of Trade, Industry and Fisheries, Ronny Berg, announced that his team visiting Nigeria would meet with the government agencies and industry leaders. Berg says Norwegian companies are willing to increase their exports to Nigeria. Well, crude oil prices in the global market look upwards in early business on Monday. Now, at the London market, the Brent trades for $53 per barrel, following increased pattern of energy consumption by Asian firms. For the OPEC basket brand, its price steadies at $50 per barrel. Well, this is where we wrap it up on Business Nigeria for today. We hope you join us another time for more insightful business analysis. I am Tolulokpe Ogunjobi. On behalf of the entire production crew, thank you for watching. I'll leave you with the figures of the exchange rate as it stands today. Bye for now.